So yeah, why we didn't talk about action real-time strategy games, or the other acronyms, right, for this type of genre, is because we really feel like we're making something a little bit different and a little bit new. It's certainly based on a lot of the games we played, in Warcraft 3 and even in Brood War that were made by our fans. But we're trying to create something that's very, very quick, that you can play in about 20 minutes. It's very much about map objectives. It's about taking over the battleground and engaging with those objectives. And it's very much about playing with your team. It's about team leveling, right? And we start you with all of your abilities. So you're using everything at once. It's a little bit more action-oriented in that sense, a little less about the RPG components. It's more about playing with these iconic heroes that you've seen over many, many years inside our games. And so we felt like the Hero Brawler was a better name for the game we were making, but whatever anybody wants to call their game, right, is totally cool, right? We just feel like that matched, in our minds, what made a lot more sense. Coming from guys who make real-time strategy, action real-time strategy didn't make a lot of sense for this game to us. Well, I think the game will speak for itself in terms of how different it is from other games in the genre. We're really trying to do new stuff that sort of moves the genre for our game, into a different space, so we can really offer players something meaningful and something new, so they can make a choice, right? We don't want to just copy what a lot of our players have done. A lot of the games that are out there in the community. We got great games, that you can play right now in StarCraft 2, and we want to offer a little bit more than that, or a little different than that, certainly, And so one of the things we're doing is we're really trying to focus on the battlegrounds as a way for us to constantly evolve the gameplay. So right now, here at Blizzcon, we've got 4 different battlegrounds that you can play on, each which has its own tactics, its own strategies to overcome your enemies. And they really play very differently from one another. If you're playing on Haunted Mines, it's a whole set of strategies that's completely different than if you're playing on Blackheart's Bay. And what's really fun about battlegrounds as a tool for this is we can change them over time. So, if we're in season 2 or whatever of Heroes of the Storm, and we go, you know what? I don't know, Dragonshire's not really holding up, the community's not really, let's just cut it. And we can take it out and we can swap something else in. Or, if, we go home and we get really inspired by something, like I play, a first-person shooter and they have some cool map objective. I go, oh, that really, I know what we could do with that, right? We could turn it like this and do that, and it inspires me to make something really exciting for Heroes of the Storm. We can come in the next day, we've got this amazing map editor, and we can try to build that. And if we like it, then we can put it out to the community. So it lets us constantly evolve the metagame, constantly change it up. And I think it's one thing that our fans really sort of taught us in StarCraft. I don't know how much you've played StarCraft. When you go back to the early days of StarCraft 2, the general consensus, not from everybody, but there was a certain voice in the community that was saying, just give us Lost Temple and go away. That's what we need from you, right? And we're like, okay, we'll do that. And we were sort of prepared to do that. We had a bunch of maps in. And now, over the last many years, with the community making so many maps and jumping in with their maps, and with us watching all the different maps being played and being inspired by maps made by tournament organizers, now if we don't change the maps, every couple of months, everybody's like, whoa, what's going on? I want more maps. And that we're seeing the joy of that, that change that causes a lot of creativity in the players and kind of keeps the game fresh. And I think that's one of the key ways, right, that we can really sort of, offer fans a legitimate choice, something new and something exciting. They may not all like it, which is cool, but at least they can look at it and go, this is something that I can have an opinion about. I think the community, the Blizzard community, helps us enormously in a lot of different ways. I think the community is filled with very passionate gamers who will play our betas, who will give us good advice as to how to improve these games. And I think that's a huge resource for us, and always has been, to have a community who's really passionate about what we're trying to accomplish. And they also inspire us. This is what I was talking about in the opening ceremony. It was really true. I mean, this was going to be a map. This was going to be a map that we were showing. This is what the StarCraft tools are capable of. And that community has already influenced us into turning this into a full-size game. That was not the original intent. The original intent was we're going to make a StarCraft, hero game, and we're going to be done. And we're going to get out, and then we're going to go on, and we're going to do other stuff, and it's going to be awesome. And the more and more we worked on it, the more feedback we got, the more the community influenced us towards, going forward with this in this way. So I think, the community is a very powerful ally for us, always, across all of our games. I work on a couple of different games right now. My responsibilities have expanded a little bit, and unfortunately I've got a lot of really smart people, working with me that I can empower and trust and help. So for StarCraft, for Legacy of the Void right now, I'm more of a sort of a coaching role, right? Trying to help the guys who are doing all of the really hard day-to-day work, and make sure that they're supported properly, make sure that they're, if they're missing the big picture, I can help them see that. If they're worried about something that maybe it's not that scary, I can help them through that. Most of my time, I'm probably 70-30 on Heroes at this point, but yeah, I do spend some time on StarCraft, and it's still something that we're very passionate about, and that we can't wait to, get back and make Legacy of the Void as awesome as we can and get it out into the hands of the community. Yeah, I think free-to-play is pretty exciting for us in a lot of ways, and I think what we're most excited about in terms of free-to-play is the ability for anybody to be able to look at our game and just check it out and see what they think. And we know that they don't have to, commit. If they're on the fence, like, it's a download, see what you think. And that gives us a lot of confidence, because we have a lot of passion for the games. We obviously believe in our games, whether we should or not, we do. We obviously believe in what we're doing, and to know that anybody can just jump in and have a look, and if they like it, great, and if they don't, then hey, no harm, no foul, right? And that makes us feel very, very safe and very secure that we're always doing right by our customers. We want to have obviously a ranked and unranked in the game. We want to make sure that competitive play is a core part of the experience, that some players who want to come in and just play with their buddies, have a good time, that's there for them. And we obviously want to make sure that players are coming in to just want to crush face, they can totally do that too. In terms of esports, we're going to sort of wait and see what happens with the community. We never really decided to make any of our games esports. We tried to make them possible. That was always a goal, to say, well, if they wanted to, they could. And we will do the same thing here. We'll provide the observer modes, we will provide the replay systems, we'll provide all the support that we can, that if that's the direction the community wants to take this game, that's available to them. But if they don't, that's cool too. So what's so exciting about working on Heroes of the Storm is we can look across all of these universes and worlds that Blizzard's created, and we can pull out some of these really deep and amazing heroes to try to build out this pantheon of warriors to go into battle, in the Nexus. And so one of the things that's really sort of challenging about it is you look at a character like Arthas, and if I were to ask you, hey, what should Arthas be able to do? We could probably write 20 things on a piece of paper that Arthas should be able to do. And, but this is an action hero brawler game, right? Where you got to power through it very quickly. And you got to be able to make quick moves, and you can't be playing the piano like that. Like, it's got to be something kind of reasonable. And so one of the things that it sort of inspired us to do is create this talent system where you can choose which abilities you want to take in any particular battle, and you can make those choices based on your team's composition, the enemy team's composition, the battleground that you find yourself on, how well you're playing today. Like, I don't know, I can't seem to get my feet underneath me. I guess I'm going to get some more health, right? But you're able to make these choices for